When darkness fell, the world shifted. As children, we often didn't ask why. We just adjusted. I think about sitting on the back step and being told stories about the man with his turban who went fishing, and he was on this piece of driftwood and he was throwing his cast net, and then he would hear zoom, 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 zoom. Turns out it's the wind in his turban, but you sit down there stiff with fright. If a dog run, you jump. The long shadows. Every culture has rules for the night. Ours is wrapped up in jumbie stories and half explanations or no explanations. But you know what? They shape our behavior. Hello and welcome. What does story say? Yeah, come in, sit down. We're talking about rules after dark. There were rules after dark in Guyana. Nobody sat us down and explained these rules explicitly like we're in school. So what are these rules we have for after dark in Guyana? Number 1, don't sweep the house after dark. Don't wash the wares after dark, especially if you're washing it at the sink where you poke out the kitchen window and then you wash and throw the water. Don't throw out no water after dark. You got to say, with the family. And as to talking, don't answer your name after dark. You're in the house of the long shadows. Every skirt and the nail look like a human, look like a ghost. And somebody call your name, don't answer. And if you go outside and you see George, how you know it's George? You don't call nobody name either. Next, if you pass Friendship Cemetery or Buxton Cemetery or the burying ground, as we say, put your head straight. Don't even think about turn back for the salara that you left at your auntie. No, ma'am, no, sir. Put your head straight. Those were the rules of the night. Perhaps these rules were superstition or they weren't superstition. Perhaps they were there for protection, like I might have said. Or perhaps they had real meaning, you know? I remember one story. It's a kind of silly story, but here goes. There's this girl who wanted a man so bad, she used to pray. So she went out by the Komaka tree and she prayed, "Dear Lord, send me a man. I want a husband real bad. Send me a man." And then she heard, who? She said, "Lord, thou ask me who? Any man on earth will do." Oh, Lord, up on the tree I go, who? Yes, silliness. Well, that's the story. Every culture has rules for the night. You know, as children, we learn these things. Not because somebody told us. And when we did know them, we didn't want to debate, you know, whether it's true or lie. We just did them. And when we did these things, they kind of change our behavior. I'll tell you a story. When my brothers used to go out at night and lime at line top, and they want to come in 10 and 11 at night, no matter what my auntie say, they would always return late. But she had one rule. And every Guyanese know this rule. Because when I live here, and any place I live, I follow this rule as well. When you coming back home late, you just don't turn the door and go in face forward. You got to come in with your back. So my auntie would be in her bed. She can't sleep because these young men on the road. And as soon as they're coming up the step, all you're hearing, "Come in with your back. Come in with your back." You got to come in with your back. Remember that? Now, thinking about it, I want to say that perhaps there was a real demarcation between night and day in the then world. Because if you think of it closely, people in the countryside didn't have electric light for a very long time. They got light from flambeau or bottle lamps, from lanterns and kerosene lamps and wicks and things like that. and candles, so they had to go to bed early. They rose with the sun and they went to bed with the sun. So it stands to reason that they would go to bed and have these rules for night and day. It's not so much about fear. It's about awareness. Regardless of where we come down on it, the dark required a different posture. What y'all think? And just for good measure, who told you the rules of the yard after dark? Or what rules you were told for after dark? Tag the things, push the button, subscribe, follow. Comment. We're building an archive, a memory archive, where listening is a form of learning. Walk good.